Well, I'm talking up at Noble's Hospital today with Sally Shaw, and it's the serious case management review on self-neglect. 7 people you refer to. And I don't know if I need to go into those details. I know it's really more generalised, really, about in the Isle of Man, 7 people there alone have fallen through the net and have died, right? I'm just really, for people watching this, because we're now looking to the future, and this is what the whole thing's about, is how on earth that happened and what can be done about it, I suppose.
Okay. I'm not sure about falling through the net is the right term. Some of these people, and most of them were known to our communities and visible within our communities. Some were known to services and several services, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, but, OK, so not through the net, but still, we've got 85,000 people on the Isle of Man.
Yep.
It's a small community, and people are not being picked up for whatever reason. And dying. Now, I suppose it's clear. I mean, is this suicide or just neglect? How does it work? How do you term it?
I term it self-neglect, and people have died. And self-neglect, as Leslie said before, can be anything from not looking after your dietary requirements, not looking after your own personal hygiene, not looking after your environment. So in the case of Robin, we hear about a tree growing through his door. So it can mean many things. I wouldn't term it suicide, and the deaths have been through a cumulative self-neglect over, in most terms, many years.
Still going back to this, we're such a small community. I think it's hard for some people to understand how anyone can just lock themselves away, I don't know, this sort of thing, and not be helped. And I know, I suppose this is what it's coming down to, isn't it? That people don't want help to some degree sometimes. Yeah,
and it's been about the lack of legal frameworks to help statutory services actually intervene. So, there's the word capacity is through all of these cases. Did the person have capacity? And if somebody's deemed to have capacity, then, even if they're making unwise and eccentric decisions, then, they should be able to do that. This is about not walking away. This is about, in Robin's case, several services been involved, several community groups knowing, even family knowing, but, not actually coming around a table and discussing this together, not joining the dots up together.
It's a fine line, though, because you're wanting more input and changes to some legislation that people can, and I was going to use the word interfere, but that's probably too harsh a word, but to some people that would be interference. In people's lives, they don't want the help, do
That's
they?
right. And safeguarding has to be, as we've said, it's everybody's business, but it has to be making safeguarding personal, and that means making sure that we are taking a proportionate approach, that people have got the right to make some decisions they want to make. But it's about understanding nobody really would want to, get to a position where they've got rat infestations, they've got trees growing through the doors. So what's pushed that person to that? And within all of these, or most cases of self-neglect, there's been some kind of disconnect with the community, whether that be through bereavement or other significant life events like divorce, etc. So we need to be able to get in there. One of the other parts of making safeguarding personal is about prevention and early intervention.
I mean, people got mental capacity, they can do what they want, can't they?
But mental capacity, you may have capacity to make certain decisions, but it could be deemed that you wouldn't have capacity to make other decisions at the same time, so it's a fluid.
And back to my touch on suicide, because I've known people who literally, they want to go. And would you say that they would be interfered with and not allowing their wish that they want to end their life?
That's a completely different topic.
It is, I know, but it doesn't have any crossover on this at all, do you think?
I don't believe that any of these individuals have meant to take their own life.
Right.
I believe that
just people who just let themselves go.
The circumstances that people have found themselves in, not maintaining diet, not maintaining heating, not maintaining the property, has led to an accumulative effect that is actually not one single thing, would be in itself the contributing factor, but a collection of things has.
Where's the first point of reference then going to be? The police? Do people ring them, or do they get in touch with social services? If they worry about somebody?
I think we would say collectively as agencies, if people have concerns, we don't really mind where it comes to, and we will sort that pathway out. But the police, no, it would come to social services in the main. If people were concerned that they hadn't seen somebody for 2 or 3 days, and there was mail piling up, then that would be the police, because they have the power to actually access a property, which we wouldn't do. If we got called, we'd end up, talking to our colleagues in the police. But if there's general concerns, then, there are numbers that are going out for social work support and out-of-hours social work support.
Lessons being learned is always what we hear about these reports. You kind of hold this thing together now, don't you? You have case studies and reference points. Do you see a better future with people talking more interagencies, for instance?
Absolutely. Interagency work is quite exciting at the moment, and we've built some really good relationships. We're going into a multi-agency safeguarding hub, which will see health and social care and the police co-located at Murray House, where they will work together in real time to discuss information and to make sure that we make joint decisions, and that will ensure that people have the right support at the right time by the right person.
Finally, and people always worry about this data protection, that sort of thing, and it's probably held people back. You're making the point here that this shouldn't be the case. If people are worried, they should inform. Well, inform's a hard word, isn't it? Again, it's a very close line between spying and being helpful.
Safeguarding trumps everything. If you've got a concern, don't be worried about sharing information.